About 250,000 people at Aintree. That proves the popularity of the National. This year, Her Majesty the Queen graced the occasion by her presence, accompanied by the Queen Mother and Princess Margaret. Mr. Malenkov was introduced to this world-famous sporting event and was shown round by Mrs. Topham. As the jockeys are weighed before the race, they look as calm as if they'd no nerves at all. As for the question of picking the winner, well, perhaps you had your money on one of these. But of course, there's no race so chancy as this one. Desperate last-minute signalling by the bookies' tic-tac men can now be witnessed, for it's nearly time for the start of the greatest steeplechase in the world, and all the thrills that inevitably go with it. There's no draw for places in the National, and after temperamental runners have been got into line, the starter sends them away. It's a field of 29, and we travel with them on the gallop to the first jump, one of the most crucial in the whole race. Memorial 3 and Demata are first over, but 4 come to grief. They're early missed, High Guard, the only grey, Must and Reverend Prince. 29 more fences to be jumped, most of about 4.5 miles to be covered, and the camera still alongside the field. A new angle on the race, this. The going is good and the pace is fast, and it's far too soon to draw any conclusions. But Amorial, Demata and Sundew are out in front. Captain Beecher fell into the brook at the 6th in 1839, but no one followed his example the first time round this year. The order of the leaders is unchanged as they race on to the canal turn. The canal's an awkward fence involving a sharp turn after jumping it, but there were no falls here, though in the past it's taken a very heavy toll. Flying hooves tell the story of speed and endurance as the field gallops on towards Valentine's. A speed of about 28 miles an hour is maintained. That's nearly the record, and this year's pace was almost up to it. Over the 11th now, Demata loses all further interest as a competitor. Amorial leads over the 12th. This one proved too much for Athenian. Now Amorial is way out in front and seems to have the race in his keeping already. But he's not even halfway yet. Into the country now for the start of the second round, with Amorial still going beautifully. He takes the first jump again. It's the 17th of the race. Falls continue to be conspicuous by their absence. At the 19th, Amorial and Eagle Lodge are in front. Delayed action gives a fine impression of how to take the slightly modified Beechers, and Sundew makes his mistake. Clearly it's still quite a tricky fence, and Pippikin's jockey takes it beautifully. Amorial is still showing his heels to the field, but now Devon Lock is after him. Yes, Queen Elizabeth, the Queen Mother's well-fancied Devon Lock came into the picture at this stage and jumped the canal turn second with Eagle Lodge. This was, of course, a big thrill for everyone at Aintree. Was it going to be a royal victory? Over the 26th jump, and Amorial is down. Amorial is out of it, and the way is definitely clear for Devon Lock to take command from now on. It's Devon Lock, Eagle Lodge and ESB. Eagle Lodge takes the 29th, just ahead of Devon Lock, but there's nothing in it. Aintree loses his jockey here. But there's only one thought among the spectators: will Devon Lock win? He leads over the last fence, and he gallops on strongly towards an almost certain triumph. The excitement was terrific. But now the newsreel camera captures for you the greatest sensation of all. The incredible has happened, and only 50 yards from the post. The crowd is stunned as ESB goes on to win. An appalling moment for Devonlock's jockey Dick Francis. Bitterly disappointed as she must have been, the Queen Mother is reported as saying simply, "That's racing." So to the final picture. ESB, Dave Dickup, bringing in victory for Mrs. Carver after the most astounding finish to any national and the worst luck any losing owner ever had.